It's the very un-rock and roll hour of like 7:30 in the morning, but got my coffee here. It's a local place, Iron Bean. It's a cool ass mug too, I'll dig it. We'll get right into it. Number one, favorite reissue of 2021. Now this has got to be Northeast Steel Recording Industries version or print press, The Bleeding Cannibal Corpse. There were two different versions of this. There was a black with a yellow and red splatter that was limited to 100 pressings. And then the one that I got, because I was a little slow on the draw, was the black with just yellow splatter, limited to 180. So total, they pressed about 280 of these. Very, very cool. The quality is crazy good. Shipping's a little high, but they are packaged extremely well, as you could see in my previous videos with going over some of the stuff I've gotten from them in the past. Number two, a band that I discovered old or new in 2021. Now there's got to be, they made my year-end list. I didn't even know about them until about, I don't know, 3 weeks before I made that list. And Astyonics, as I mentioned in my year-end list top 10, my brother got me hip to them, dug them, and the more I listened to it, the more I was just impressed. Another great band out of Texas. Texas is Fort Worth particular. We got Frozen Soul and Astyonics out of there, so they're making some killer stuff down there. And if you haven't seen the video, Astyonics is a brutal death metal band. The label is Pathologically Explicit Records, and they got a good thing with that band. They got a bright future, I think. So as long as they stay the course and stay true to themselves, I think they're gonna be a killer band for years to come. Show an album with an outstanding vocal performance. Now, for sake of not repeating what Nick did, because I love Devin Townsend, we all do, I go with my backup choice. That's 12 Foot Ninja, Nick Barker. 12 Foot Ninja's release, Vengeance, was one of my favorite albums of the year, and something that I continue to listen to, and I wish I would have like jumped the gun on it and got that pre-ordered on vinyl and stuff, but I didn't, so that may be something that I search for this year on vinyl. But it's a crazy good album. You heard me and Nick gush over it, and you know, unfortunately they parted ways, but they look like they're on good terms. So number four, show gap filler. Now this is a pretty big gap filler, but I had the first Rage. I didn't have any of the other ones, and I call myself a fan. I didn't have them, so gap filler. Got them. Picked them all up. I don't even remember where I got them at this point. They've been chilling for a minute. I haven't even opened Evil Empire or Battle of Los Angeles. So I've, you know, as you guys have heard me talk, a busy year last year. I didn't get a chance to really dig into my vinyls, especially because I'm moving. Don't have my area set up for that yet. Number five, show a cheap pickup from 2021. Now, please don't rail me in the comments for this, but I am a fan of this guy, and it's not metal at all. It's the opposite of metal, really. Well, maybe not the opposite, but pretty close. This is the Garth Brooks Legacy Collection. I dig Garth Brooks. It was one of those things that I was kind of forced on as a young kid. You know, you listen to pretty much what your parents listened to, and this is one of the artists that fell into that category, but I kept listening to his stuff even after when I was into metal and stuff like that. I dig this guy. He writes great songs. I picked this up for $10, brand new, and that was the steal of the year for me. This, minus in terms of music, but I did, for any nerd out there, I did manage to find Amazing Spider-Man number 300, which is the first appearance of Venom, at a garage sale for 25 cents, and I haggled them down to 20 cents. So that was definitely the biggest pickup of the year, but music related, Garth Brooks has got to be it. Killer stuff. The guy's very talented. Number six, your favorite artwork from 2021. It's got to be Wisdom. It's WHYZDOM with Of Wonders and Wars. I don't like the album at all, really. Sorry guys, it's just not my thing. But that album art is killer. I love Egyptian culture and mythology and their religion and all that. It's just fascinating, that whole culture. And this is right up there. It's like some cyborgy type sphinx with this cool backdrop and this moon with a beam on a pyramid, and it's just, I don't know, it's a cool image. I love the image of it. like I said, I'm obsessed with that culture. My daughter's name is Isis, so I named her after an Egyptian goddess. So that, of course, was before the group in capitals existed. And honestly, I wasn't too concerned with it because in 5 years, 10 years, we're going to be chasing Oompa Loompas or whatever name they decide to call said terrorist group or people that suck. Number 7, your favorite track from 2021, and it's got to be off of my number 1 for the year, which was Violence Unimagined and Surround, Kill, Devour. Those riffs, man. Oh, it just sticks in my head, and I've listened to that song probably more than any other song this year. A killer record. You guys have heard us gush about it all year, or since it came out. So if you want to see our opinion on that, check out our review on that. It's up on the channel. Number 8, a song that became an earworm. This has got to be Talking Heads, Making Flippy Floppy. I don't know, it's just a song that constantly gets stuck in my head, and not necessarily just from last year, but just overall. It's that bass, the bass line that Tina Weymouth plays. She's just a killer in the pocket bass player, and if there's any bass players out there that want to lesson in funk, groove, listen to what she's playing. When you listen to her play, you realize that pocket, that funk, that soul is more about when she's not playing than when she's playing. All those little stops, those pauses, those off notes, those half beats, all that plays into it, and she's phenomenally talented bass player. I love listening to her play. I love Talking Heads, big Talking Heads fan. If you haven't checked out Stop Making Sense, I encourage you to do it if you like music in general. Number 9, 2 albums that are going to be pulled from my collection, and that'll have to be one of them, is this Black Keys. Now, it's a special holographic thing. I'll show you real quick, but I'm a pretty big Black Keys fan, and I got on and saw that they were releasing this, and I looked for it, and it was at my local place. But it's a cool cover. I mean, everything about it is pretty awesome. I love the inside of that. But the album is, I didn't care for it too much. I listened to it once in its entirety, really gave it a solid listen, and I just wasn't overly impressed with it at all. And this one will be probably put up on Discogs at some point, maybe, if I get around to it. The second one would be this. It is still in the box. I'll unwrap it here in a video collection update sort of thing. But it's Alien Weaponries, and the reason I bring that one up into this is because it also plays into number 10, which is a band that has gone off. Now, that was Alien Weaponry. That first album I really dug. I listened to it quite a bit, and I was really excited when I saw that they were coming out with a new album. And obviously, I got on and pre-ordered like at this point I don't remember. It's some sort of rare pressing version of it, like the bigger deluxe set. There should be some extra goodies in there. We'll see that in an upcoming video, like I said. But going from 2 to the Tangoria, or how you pronounce it, it was a big just dump for me. It just seemed like the latest album didn't have just the soul or feel or the intensity, I should say. It just kind of everything was just there, and it didn't really do anything for me at all. And man, they got to come up with something really crushing next one for me to get back into it. I'll still listen to that first album. I dig it. 11, a 90s album recommendation. I may have brought this band up in the last video last year, or at some point. I know I've mentioned Pissing Razors, but Cast Down the Plague. I just listened to that recently, and what a killer album. And I think that band, unfortunately, was a little late in the game for that sound, and it hurt them. And not to mention all the personnel changes and problems they had in the band, unfortunately. It looks like they are back doing something together, so we'll see what happens. But Pissing Razors, Cast Down the Plague. It's a killer album. Number 12, show a single or name a single that sold an album to you. It's got to be the more recent one, Pike vs. the Automatron, and Alien Slut Mum, that single that he put out. Oh man, I dug the shit out of that song. It's right up my alley, the doomy stoner desert rocky type stuff. It's Matt Pike. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be sludgy doomy, and it sounds killer. I can't wait for the album to come out. Number 13, an epic song of 8 minutes or more. And this is one of my favorites. This is Meshuggah I. And it's over 20 minutes of just kick-ass Meshuggah. And there's some parts in there that kind of, you know, are a little less intense, if you will. But you need a break, man. The album is pretty much on go. And I listened to it quite a bit. I love the album, or the song, I should say. And on vinyl, it's killer. Number 14, a quick opinion on Record Store Day. Now, this may not be a quick opinion, but I do have one. I collect vinyl exclusively. I don't buy any CDs at all. And I'm pretty picky about what I buy, just, you know, for whatever reason or the other. But Record Store Day, there's things that I like about it. There's things that I don't. From the other side of things, on the owner, you know, record store owner's side, I've heard that they basically kind of forced to order the whole kit and caboodle, like all the releases and stuff like that, which I don't agree with, because that puts a financial burden on some of these places. And there's a lot of stuff that is just crap. You're looking through the list, it's like, who in the hell would even go out and get these? There are some cool exclusive ones, like one I pulled is this collaboration with Grateful Dead and Dogfish Head Brewery. I love Dogfish Head beer. This is pretty cool, but I wish they would have chosen maybe some better songs, but I understand that they're probably going for stuff that isn't on anything else, and Grateful Dead stuff has just been rehashed and re-put out and re-released and just over and over and over. So I understand if it's hard to pick stuff out that hasn't been used before. One example of a dud for me was Judas Priest's British Steel anniversary release, and this is just a shit packaging. It's this vinyl stuff, and that's it, on a picture disc, and it's stupid. It's for a like supposed collector's edition that's exclusive. You put it in this crap? Like, really? I still got it because I don't have this album, and it's the 40th anniversary edition. I will listen to it, but I have not taken it out of this at all for fear of fucking it up. I'm going to get something else, probably make some sort of custom thing for it. But for me, this is supposed to be a limited pressing on a day that's special for vinyl collectors, and they come out with this. It's just unacceptable, really. Number 15, what part of your music setup would you change? Well, I would make my drum room bigger, isolation cabinets for the stacks that I have in there, maybe my control room a little bigger, just everything a little bigger. So yeah, about, I don't know, what would make my music setup better? About 600 more square feet, a couple friends, 2 weeks of time, and 14 cases of beer. That'll make my music setup better. 16, what is the biggest disappointment of 2021? And that's no new Meshuggah. I thought that we'd have a new Meshuggah in 2021, but nothing. But we should have one this year, so I'm looking forward to that, which ties into the next question. 17, name an album you're expecting and looking forward to. For fear of not repeating myself, I'm going to have to go with Crowbar, obviously. I'm a big Crowbar fan. As you guys saw, that's my pick for our ranking list that we all got to choose something. Crowbar is where it's at, man. And the new Ozzy album, looking forward to that. I mean, it's Zach, Tony, Beck, Clapton. Zach put together just the best of the best guitarists for this album, and I can't wait for it. After what he did with the latest Black Label Society album, I'm really, really looking forward to the Ozzy as well. But Crowbar's got to be the top. Number 18, who would you like to see release a solo album? And honestly, I don't really have a good answer for this. I'm horrible with names, as you guys know, and I just don't have a good answer for it. Number 19, show a placeholder album that you would rebuy in better condition. And this has got to be this one. Morbid Angel's Domination. Now, when I ordered this, it said that it was an original pressing. It's not. It's a fucking bootleg copy bullshit. But I don't have it, so I wanted to listen to it on vinyl, and who knows what quality is. It's still sealed. Again, it's going to be part of a update video, collection update video. I got another Morbid Angel that is an original to show you guys in that video. But yeah, Domination, I really want a first pressing. I thought this was a first pressing, and the price was a little too good to be true, and I should have known better. But we'll see how it sounds. Maybe I'll open it up for the next, or before the video, where I show both of them and let you guys know. And finally, number 20, because of cost or availability, what album have I failed to pick up? And it's got to be the Clutch Collector's Set thing, big, all of them. There was some live shows in there on vinyl. There was like 18 vinyls altogether in this collection, and I was late to the game because I worked thirds and didn't get it. Unfortunately, it's sold out, and now they're going for like 600 bucks. I think there was one on Amazon for $600. It's crazy. I don't have that much money to dump on something like that, unfortunately, as big of a Clutch fan as I am. I wish I would have woke up earlier that day, you know, and got the chance to order that, but I didn't. So with that being said, this concludes Metal Tag 2022 for me, Miller. I'm sure the other boys will have that up soon, so subscribe, hit the notifications, all that jazz to let you know when that's going to happen. And we look forward to this year and what it brings us, and we can't thank you guys enough for the support you have given us. We got a lot of cool stuff that we're working on, some more interviews and whatnot. So stay tuned for that. And until next time.